All right.
All right, y'all. So here we are, man. It's the
All right. Now we
Forbidden
can
Fruit
see mommy
podcast,
now.
and this is a special episode because first
Yes, sir.
we got first of all Jason's over here, Wavy Jason's over here, okay, in a party setting. But more importantly, we have the one and only Amber. Amber, bringing that lovely energy, okay, the lovely feminine
Hey,
energy.
you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, of course.
And
It's always good to have females' perspectives of the same life we live.
It's necessary.
And the thing about Amber, man, since I've known Amber, man, because me and Amber go back, man, like, she's cool as fuck. She always keeps it 100. You know, she was like a girl
True.
that we can go to as guys, you know, who kept it 100, you know what I mean? And who didn't give a fuck. So that's what
Yeah.
we mean.
Sure. Was she the type of friend that would have like a girl you're crushing on, which was like one of her friends? And she'd be like, I'm gonna keep it real, like she don't like you. Or I'm gonna keep it a stat. This is how
100.
this is how you get her. She likes.
Come on. We love that girl. That's the girl that guys, I'm telling y'all, man. That's the girl that guys keep a special place in their heart for because they're like, yo,
She likes that.
yeah, she looking out for us. You know what I mean? She ain't just like, look, don't fuck with him. He ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm more like, give him a little bit more time, girl. Give him a little bit more time.
There you go, right? Just give us extra 2 weeks or something. God damn, give us extra 2 hours, man. That's how it is nowadays. Just give me extra 2 hours, man. So, you know, yeah. So, you know, today we out here, man. We're just kicking it. I kind of wanted to explore the
I feel like because she.
What you
Listen,
said?
Yo, Jason.
I was gonna say,
Jason's messing everything up.
am I lagging? Am I like delayed?
Yeah, you're lagging mad hard. It was like, yeah.
No, that's crazy.
All right. So if it's gonna be this laggy, just give me a couple seconds when you address me. Like you just be like, yo, like, all right, we're gonna ask you the question, Jason.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give it a couple seconds and then I'll respond.
Okay, that's a good idea, Jason. That's good.
So I won't fuck you guys up.
Oh, that's cool. Amber, you can hear me? Do I sound clear?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you sound clear.
Let's start off kicking it, man. You know, as you can see, you know, we're out here in the world of dating and relationships. And don't mind me, I'm out and about, y'all. So if y'all hear a bus in the back, we in the city, man. This is the city energy today. But you know, so just wanted to get some ideas, Amber. I mean, you tell me, all right, I know you talk to a lot of different women. I mean, I know last time I talked to you a while back, you were managing a women's department store alone. That already knows. I know there's a bunch of women you're in contact with and things like that. What is the current energy right now of the male-female dynamic from your perspective? Like just generally, I know you don't know every girl in the world, of course, but what's the consensus that you kind of get about the energy with men? Like, I know a lot of women right now aren't the happiest with us. Some might be. So, you know, what have you seen or heard, just, you know, generally?
Right. You know what? It's really interesting because I deal with like a lot of dynamic of women, of course. But what I can say is it's either the women are very particular, they know exactly what they want, and it's been hard for them to find a guy that fits all of that quota. And then you have the women who, you know, have less of a guard up, you know, they're more open and they understand that, you know, men are different. They're going to have their differences. And those women get a little frustrated sometimes because they're going through these cycles where, you know, they come across like a roadblock with a guy and it's just kind of like, what's wrong with him? Like, it's 2018. Like, why is this guy still having these same mannerisms, still having these same behaviors, still having these like same guy complexes. So I mean, it's different. I mean, for me, I'm just like, I'm chilling always.
Exactly.
It's easy for me, but it's hard out here for women. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's like even when you find the good guys, it's something like they're like weird, or they're just like too nice, or too
like,
easy, and or it's like if they're difficult, then it's like, man, like he's too hard to read. It's like it's always like a 2 sometimes.
So that's a great explanation, because I feel like that kind of encapsulates what I've seen on my end too, is the idea of like, you can't get both pieces to the pie. It's like you have the guy that gives you the energy that you like or that you're attracted to, but a lot of the time they're missing those components that are good long term. And then you got the person who is good long term, but they're boring, or they're weird, or they're kind of like off. So I mean, I can imagine it's hard, because like for guys and women, you know, and I know Jason can attest to this, like we're very simple, you know what I mean? Like, does she look good? You know what I mean? Like, is she attractive?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Can
very
she
like,
cook?
yeah, it's like very physical for us, you know what I mean? But for you all look beyond the physical, which is in one spectrum is very beautiful. You guys want something real, or something more with more depth. But on the other end, it could be hard, because in the dating game, it's like you got to be goddamn a special motherfucker. You know what I mean? What you think?
Right. And it's even for women too. Like men definitely hold us to a high ass standard.
Yeah, it's looks. Let me ask you, right? What is looks? Like for guys, we just think it's easier to look good than it is to do guy stuff. But is it? I'm wondering. Obviously, looking good. I'm learning more and more as I just am around with women. Like, this is a task. This is like a job. This is like a side 9 to 5 or something to look good as fuck. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, no. And I'm one of those people where I look at it. I mean, it's like how you dress. Do you keep yourself groomed? You know, do you wash your ass every day? Because not a lot of guys do it.
Oh yeah, tell him, Jason.
I'm gonna add a couple of things. So like, I know I'm lagging, so I'm gonna just let y'all know this is like a warning that I'm talking. All right, after I pour this. All right, so basically, oh, you can hear me? All right, so basically, what I have to say about what y'all were just saying is, it is harder for a woman to be satisfied with any man, because I feel like, you know, me and Johnny have discussed this plenty of times. No guy's really focusing on a woman. They're focusing on just getting pussy, the idea of just fucking, the idea of just having sex. And when you get to that when you get to that state of mind where you're just thinking about sex, it becomes boring. Like, sex is fun, don't get me wrong. Like, that shit is fun as shit, you feel me? Right. That shit is, you know, all the sensations that come with it, it feels good, blah, blah, blah. But then when you get to the point where you've done it with that person, you're like, okay, what else can I get from this guy besides just, you know, penis, dick? And then that's when the girl really starts questioning the relationship, if she's in that relationship with them.
And that's interesting, Jason, because you are.
Yeah, you lagged out, but that's real.
And
what else is you gonna say, Jason? Restart while you sip on that cup.
I feel like girls always, at the end of the day, get disappointed on what they have in front of them. Wow. So then they just that and goes, okay, this is the dime I've always wanted. Okay, here comes the mortgage, here comes the title, here comes the ring, here comes whatever idea that man has. And the thing is, the world we live in is a shared world. So the woman is in a different world at the same time as that man is. So when we both come together, the man doesn't realize that, though. That's the problem. Most men don't realize that she's in her own world, which is her mind, and that the woman doesn't get it either, that he's in his own world. And I feel like that's where the problem starts happening, because then we start defining the relationship with the idea of our idea, not theirs.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like from both ways. And I think it takes knowing someone for just like so long and really creating like a whole foundation of friendship or just like knowing or conversation to really get past that and have it just so easily smooth into like ours. Because I know I'm very quick to say, oh, this is mine, or whatever you're thinking, that's fine. That's that way over there. That's not really, I don't know if I'll be able to come around that way. And I think that makes it a little bit more difficult once you do kind of get past that giddy feeling, like the first few dates or like that first time you hook up or something, you do kind of get like this, okay, like if shit isn't really right at that moment, you kind of are like, all right, well, what's next? Like, you know, fun dates, good sex, like what else? Like, what else can you do after that? Is it really going to be exciting to be sharing my world with you after this? Or, you know, I'm ready to move on sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great word, man. It's like sharing our world. Like, that's what's going on. Like, that is the hard part that I think we negate, is the fact that all the fun shit on the front end is cool. But then I realized once you get beyond that beginning area, man, it's like it requires a little bit of skills now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to actually now be a little bit like, I don't know, like mathematical, a little more scientific about your partner, actually caring about the shit that will make them stay around. And that's what we kind of have a hard time with. It's like, look, man, I mean, we doing the basics, you know what I mean? The shit's cool. But you end up getting a rude awakening, because I'll tell you one thing, man, like, people ain't trying to settle right now. That's one thing. And if people ain't trying to settle,
yes,
like, at one point, I feel like there was a generation where people were like, yeah, I'll just settle on behalf of like, just to make the shit work. People ain't with that shit no more. So you kind of got to bring it. You got to have a
Not
new
at
thing.
all.
You got to bring it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Especially since everyone else, like it's 2018, like everyone's on their shit. Like people are consistently editing themselves, trying to make themselves better. And if you're that type of person and you have that energy when you're around someone or you get to know someone who doesn't have that, like whether it's romantic or platonic, you're literally going to be like, okay, you're going to create some kind of distance because that energy seeps into your own. And that can get kind of difficult when you like spend some time dating someone or getting to know someone. And then, you know, when things start to get serious, you realize that their energy can kind of like seep into yours and it isn't good. That makes it difficult. Like, damn, I don't know if I can be with this person, but then you feel badly like, wow, I set up like a whole foundation with this person. Like, do I stay and help them, or like, do I help them see it out, or do I have to be selfish and you know, find someone else that matches my energy, you know?
Wow.
That's real. I think that's hard. That's hard for people.
Yeah, that's the plight. That's such a good point, man. And I think that's the plight for a lot of women I've seen, is everything builds up well. And I notice a lot of guys, the problem, we get the thing about guys is when we get comfortable, it kind of works in reverse. Like, the woman tends to want to get more comfortable early, and then the guys kind of get comfortable later. But I know, like, a lot of the time when a guy finally gets settled in, that's when the girl just, it seems to him like she's like, that's when things change. But you might not have known that, like, there were qualities about you she just found out that she wasn't fucking with. You know what I mean? But what do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
You know, does she, like, let her life degenerate? Or is she like, look, motherfucker, like, you gotta step it up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a crossroads that happens in a lot of relationships, man.
And honestly, that's what a lot of women, I feel like, get to. That's like their most difficult part, because so many women have been in that situation where, you know, your guy gets comfortable and then you know, as a woman, if that's your man and you really care about them, you're gonna be like, hey, you know, you used to do this, or like, let's try to do this. You kind of like push towards it, but sometimes it's just like you have to realize that that person was literally just dating you, like, like that's what they were doing because they wanted to show you that they, you know, they were interested in you, but that's probably not how they are 100%. And
Correct.
I think a lot of women stick around like expecting it to come back or make a full circle. And you have to realize that, you know, when you're dating, things are going to be different than once you get into that relationship. Like dating is fun. It's a lot of energy. It's like a lot of conversations, new conversations, getting to know each other. Like what happens when those conversations are over and you guys have like real shit to talk about? Like what's up then? Or you have to share your space. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Sharing the space.
Sharing space.
Oh my gosh. A whole new motherfucker comes out, man. You be like, hold on, this motherfucker look good and presentable and shit, and now this motherfucker just dirty as hell. It's like, but you know, that's very interesting. I noticed.
Hell yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's like well, one thing I can imagine for women, right? And I was always one of these guys, man. And during my assholish days, I've had a few spurts of assholish days. But I used to be on a wave where I was like, look, I'm gonna just be an asshole now, so that you know where I'm coming from. And what ends up happening is I end up getting better over time. That's how my effect kind of is. But I noticed in most cases, like a guy's gonna show you, especially girls that want to, like, I want to date a guy that does X, Y, Z. I want like the best kind of date. You're getting the best version of this motherfucker on the front end. So what's kind of hard a lot of the time is when you come at such a level up here, it only can get so much higher than that unless they're consistently moving on a certain level. If you started off eating at the best places, you started off hanging out at the best places, this motherfucker was opening doors, XYZ, you got to think, is he going to do this shit for the whole time? Because if not, if he begins to get more comfortable, it really is a downward effect versus somebody kind of shows you themselves, but then you're like, oh shit, this person's actually kind of tight. So for a lot of people who have this expectation of I want the girl or the guy to be this perfect motherfucker up front, you got to realize that's kind of setting you up for some failure, because you got to realize, can they maintain that level the whole time? In most cases, you're going to realize it's going to drop off. So that's just an aspect of dating that a lot of people miss on. And I feel like it makes a lot of people feel like they were hurt or bamboozled and shit, because they thought, you know what I mean, they had such a high expectation on the front end. It's like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Like it's like a guy takes me to like all these nice ass restaurants the first month or so that we're dating, and then one day he's like, hey, you trying to grab some McDonald's? And I'm like, like catches you off guard, because it's like, who knew you even ate McDonald's? And then like, what is the guy gonna feel? Then the guy probably is feeling like, oh, so you're too good for McDonald's? Like, what's up? You know, it's like, it kind of puts you in that weird situation. I don't know, I always feel like if a guy's just doing too much in the beginning, I always am intrigued of just like, what is he really like? You know what I mean? Because there's no way that this is you 100% of the time.
I have to add something right there that you just said. I have to add something right there with what she just said. She said, you basically are questioning in your head, like, okay, what does he really want, right? And I always tell females, fuck the guy first and then see how he acts.
Right. Like, what's gonna happen after that first fuck? What's up?
Exactly. And then this is what happens. Girls play this fantasy where they go, oh, no, he's like this and he does this and he's this type of guy. But the only reason he's all that and whatever he does is because he hasn't had that pussy yet. Like, literally, you haven't given it up. So he's playing this game where he's like, fuck, it's so fun. Like, oh my God, it's about to be, in his mind is like, oh my God, it's about to be magical. Like, I can't wait to put her in this position. It's about to be like this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take her around on a date. It's about to be...
It's so funny because you can go on and like, that's real life.
right? That's
Although
all.
I have met some guys, I have
So what
met
I'm
some
saying
guys
is
who
like
are
once
just
he's
like,
in that atmosphere.
Oh, what were you saying? What were you saying, Amber? And then you go, Jason.
I have met some guys who are literally like, that is how they are 100%. Like,
Wow,
those
so
are
they're just
unicorns. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would never trust it. I could never move forward with those kind of guys. It makes you nervous, like sweat a little bit. Like, they're just consistently just like nice. Like, you can know these people for their whole lives and they're consistently nice. Like, they deserve the world right there. But
it's good to know that there's men like
ring.
Who are you gonna say?
That.
Okay, hold on. She said they deserve a ring. But those guys that came through your life and did that exact same thing that deserved the ring, what happened?
I fucked it up.
There we go, right?
There we go, gentlemen.
You were not alone.
There we go, gentlemen. We have revealed the truth. There we go, gentlemen. We have revealed the truth of the female nature of why you cannot be nice.
And sometimes it's not even like I didn't trust it. Like, sometimes I'm literally just like, bro, like, I don't know, like, this is a lot for me. Like, I'm like trying to hook them up with the next, but like with the next chick, I'm like, girl, this man is like a unicorn. Like, do you want to try? Like, I don't know if I can hold. I don't know, like, what I can do with this right here.
Because let me ask you, because that's a great point, and I've always been the kind of guy to be like, whenever a girl does like, because as men, you got to read female language. So for example, like, she'll be like, oh, I got to introduce you to my friend. She would love you. And the guy might be thinking like, okay, but that's code words for like, motherfucker, like, I'm not fucking with
I'm passing you.
Somebody might though. You know what I'm saying? But what is that visceral? It's not just you. It isn't like it's like, it's a visceral thing that women can detect of just like, look, motherfucker, you too soft. Like, but what is, it's just a feeling like from the I guess, what is it a feeling for you? Is it just like, it's uncomfortable? What is it for you, would you say, the feeling?
I don't know. It's just kind of like an energy, because it's just like, I know that I am not perfect. So to date like an extremely perfect individual is just like, oh my gosh, like, I feel like I'm always gonna be like on my toes, like just making sure that I'm matching like his quality if that's the case. And I feel like men are totally like that too. Like, I've dated guys where I can tell they are literally just like consistently trying. Sometimes they even get frustrated. Like, if it's just not my reaction, like if my reaction was not what they thought, like they get down on themselves. Like, it's like a whole energy wave comes over. And I feel like I don't hear a lot of my female friends don't talk about this kind of stuff, but I know for damn sure, like, I'll meet some cool ass dudes and I'll be like, like, you don't want to mess with me. Like, let me just see. Cause I mean, I've been there and like, I've seen, like, I've had male friends just be crushed by women. Like,
wow.
Of course.
Like, crushed guys' spirits, you know what I mean? And it's not cool, because it takes like, just like for a woman, like, it takes time out of their lives where they have to like rethink things, or like,
but what if that's the purpose of you?
Maybe.
I'm not saying that's your whole purpose.
It's totally happened.
I'm not saying that's your whole purpose as an individual, but what if I'm saying that is your purpose as a female, to check the male energy and tell them, yo, you're a bitch.
Right.
And then see how he reacts.
Yeah.
That would help a lot of women.
Well, if that was my purpose, it definitely followed through at one point in my life. It was my life at one point. Like, bitch, please.
No, but that's such a good thing. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, that we get that perspective, because, and it's the same thing for guys sometimes. Like, a girl might seem so perfect, and it's like, we like a sexy, something about the sexy girl, the girl that's not, you know what I mean? But I just think for guys, man, it's just like, we come with this idea, and that's what the conditioning fucked us up when we were young and shit. We were supposed to, when your mama raises you to be this good fucking guy, like, she wants you to be this sweetheart, you know what I mean? And you can't blame her because your mom trying to, you know, she wants you to be a good fucking
They fucked
boy.
us up.
You know what I'm saying? What you say?
Right.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
said they kind of fucked us up.
yeah, yeah. They
Like
want
it's not like what I say is there's nothing wrong with being a gentleman, but then there's something wrong when being a gentleman is not the right moment to be a gentleman. There's a right moment to be an asshole. There's a right moment to be a gentleman, and I feel like men don't know when to be an asshole, and some men overdo the
Yeah, and
assholeness.
sometimes I feel like you guys like think about it too hard. Like just be yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like strive to be a gentleman, and anybody who's gonna like provoke you to be an ass should literally just like let them know, like, yo, bro, you're like lame. Like, like I'm feeling like I should be an ass to you right now, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna like delete your energy like off of mine. Like you're just gonna have to be deleted. I do that all the time. Like before I used to be, I would do that, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna be an asshole to this person, like, you know, but now I'm just like, nah, you have to like make me be an asshole a little bit, and you have to really really try hard. That's like some deep shit, like
no,
I'm being mean to you.
that's huge, man. Because no, that's these are principles for guys. Like I say, be a good person. We be like on one side or the other type shit. Hey, Jason, you might want to mute yourself. No, I could do it. Or just it's some people in the background. But you can hear me though?
Yeah, for
All right,
sure.
cool. It's like be a good fucking person. Like what happens is a lot of good people get hurt and then they become this extreme asshole and it's just unbalanced. You know what I mean? I feel like the model is be a
Yeah.
good fucking person, and then whenever somebody crosses your boundaries, you check their ass and remind these motherfuckers like I could go there, and that's the balance. That way you ain't
Yeah.
frugally just being an asshole, because you might. Because then I noticed there's some guys where when they turn to the asshole, when they actually meet a good fucking girl and they put the asshole card on her, turn her off, so then they just turning off everybody.
Right. Then she's probably a bitch.
Yeah.
After that, like she's probably just like shut down. So
Yeah.
it's like who's that? I think Chance said it, or he's like, I'm not the nice guy, I'm the good guy. Like I definitely try to do that, you know. And that's like a part of growing up and bossing up. Like if people do you wrong, like just boss up and check their asses and be on with it. Don't internalize it. I think sometimes, especially for men and women, especially when you're dating, like you might go on a date with a guy who's fine as hell. You probably look good too, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't rock with you. And you might be like, oh, well, fuck you then. But it's like, why? Like, they just don't rock with you. Like you're not gonna rock with everybody that you meet. You can't internalize it. You can't take it personally. There's like billions of people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Just like keep it pushing. And I mean, if it's really something that makes you reflect, and then do that, I guess, if you have an opportunity to better yourself. But at the end of the day, you can't take what every criticism that somebody says to you, especially in like a romantic kind of environment, to heart. Like no. Sometimes a lot of that is coming from their own negativity as well.
Oh man, that's huge, Amber. That's huge. Let me highlight that, man, because that's what we got to realize. You know, unfortunately, you know, we're in a world where we're like each other's reflection. So it's hard sometimes when, for example, somebody throw me negative energy. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be Jesus all the time, man. Like,
right.
Look, motherfucker, you throw some shit at me. I ain't about to just take all this in and turn it into fucking wine. Like, you know, or, you know, make it shit. But you know, I realized like there's a huge power in just, you know, realizing like they're reflecting themselves. Like somebody treating you like an asshole, you gotta realize they carrying that asshole energy all over the goddamn place, man. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes, you know, that's why it's kind of smooth to let shit roll. It's like, look, motherfucker, like that ain't me. I ain't taking that shit on. And one thing I love about women, man, that I've observed, like I realize you can learn so much from women, man. Like one thing I love about women, man, is that they'll see a dude, right? And here they'll see a guy and be like, okay, this dude's attractive or something, right? This motherfucker could be super attractive, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And but then they could be like, all right, yeah, but it's whatever, keep it pushing. Whereas for a guy, it's like, oh my gosh,
nah.
I get it right now. The fuck, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, that's a strong power that women have, because I've seen women let a lot of shit miss them, man. I'm like, god damn, that's some smooth shit, man. You know what I mean? And I'm guessing, is that just the
Yeah,
maturity
I
or like
think
what
it's
is that?
important as a woman to be courted. I feel like as a woman, you should be courted. Like I feel like in 2018 we are as women aggressive. So it's like we see something that you see something that we like, we go for it. But I think with men, if you like go for a man, especially based off of, I don't know, like looks or something,
Mhm.
that might just be the biggest setup you could ever do for yourself. Like, are you kidding me? Because if he was that into you, and if he saw you in that same kind of attractive light, then he would have approached you, or he would have found some way to do so. So for you to do it, you're kind of like throwing off like I don't know, like time almost. Like you're interrupting time to like put your energy into something that you probably could have just minded your business about and kept it moving. And you waste time doing that. Like if you, I mean, you spend time courting a guy. Like real men don't want to be courted. They want to.
Real
They
men
know what
don't
they
want to
like,
be
and they're gonna
courted,
go for it.
man. Real
I
men.
mean, they want it to be reciprocated if they start it, but they don't want somebody to be like, "Oh, what's up, shorty?" Like off the streets. Like that's intimidating,
Is a
and
little.
it's also confusing. Like guys, if you do something with a guy, they automatically, and I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong, but they'll automatically think like, "Oh, she probably definitely did this with somebody else." So it's like you're picking guys up out while you're out, or like just seeing a fine dude and being like, "Oh, what's up?" Like, how serious can he really take it? He's gonna think that every time you're out, like you see a cute ass dude, you're gonna be like, "Oh, what's up?" Like, what makes him special? You know, let the guy be special. Like, let him figure it out.
Let the guy be special, man. That's really dope. And when you put it in those kind of words, it kind of feels like women not approaching guys all the time and not doing all that shit that a lot of guys wish they did. Because every guy low key has a fantasy that a woman just, the woman of his dreams walks up to him and just says, "Hey, just take me." You know what I mean? But unfortunately, that's not the real world. But damn, I like that. And that, you know, give the man the opportunity to make you special, which to me lets men know, man, like when you're approaching a woman or when you're going out of your way to speak with the woman, man, you're giving her an opportunity to be special in that proper context. Like
hmm
you're allowing nature to kind of balance itself out like that. Like, and I feel like that's pretty fucking dope. That's a good filter to look at it through for a lot of men who don't really know the mentality to have. Oh, she doesn't want me to talk to her. But what I've noticed is when I approach women, for the most part, man, you'll be surprised. You get a generally very good response because it's everybody can enjoy somebody going out of their day to make them know that you special. You know what I mean? That you look good. Even though I know, I don't know, Amber. Does it get annoying sometimes when men are just coming at you, or is it normally pretty chill? I mean, you know.
No, if someone says it gets annoying, they have a big head. Like anytime somebody wants to
Nice.
compliment me, like that's really cool. You know what I'm saying? And like even if I'm not, if unless they're being just like extremely like inappropriately aggressive,
Yeah.
like
Like
that's
you
kind of
know,
obnoxious. That can get annoying, but it doesn't happen that often enough. I feel like that's cool, and there's a proper way to let a guy know, like, oh, thank you. You know, I'm not interested though, and I think that's important to do up front. But what one thing that I wanted to add is that I think what makes it special is that real women, like when you get into a situation and your man is making you feel special, like you're gonna do it back. You're gonna try to find, especially when you're dating like a supreme gentleman who you can't pay for anything, you can't even open your door, like they want to take care of everything. Real women get creative in their minds. They're like, okay, how can I like make this man feel special? Like he has me feeling so good, like what can I do? And I think that's what makes a relationship special and cherishable and like long lasting. Just like men and women being, well, I guess men and women, I guess, I don't know if we're talking about all different types of relationships, but like men and women staying in their roles. Like if you have like that straight relationship where you're attracting a man and you're a woman, or you're a man attracting a woman, you know what I mean? Then you appreciate at least some part of each person staying in their role. And like that's a beautiful thing in a
it really is,
relationship, you
man.
know,
Definitely.
because we aren't the same. Like men and women are not the same.
Oh my goodness, man. I agree. That's really huge, and it's very counterintuitive right now because everybody kind of don't know that. I mean, we're all the same as human beings and shit, but we gotta know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the flow. Like, you know what I mean? And honestly, who wants somebody exactly the same as they ass? You know what I mean? That's what we got different body parts for and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know, and I think Jason's back on. Jason, man, you just missed, man. Goddamn, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Jason, you
It's a
made
good
it.
ass fucking part. Go ahead, Amber was kicking how. Here's one. I'm gonna break. Here's some key things she said, Jason. You can hear me, right? She said, I realized that when you're approaching, right, a good filter to have is the understanding that you get an opportunity to make the girl special or make her feel special. And that's kind of like a beautiful, like for a guy, that's almost like a cool power to have. Because a lot of the time as a guy, you feel like you're losing some of yourself when you're approaching a woman. You know what I mean? Or like, oh, I got to make myself small. But nah, you actually get opportunity to shine, you know what I mean? To shine a light, to bring somebody
That's
up.
a big thing. That's big.
That's big as fuck. Like, yeah. And then also, Jason, hold on, I'm gonna let this pass. She also said that we're not the same necessarily. And that's some big ass shit, man. You know what I mean? Men and women, we're human beings, but in being in our role and shit, like, that gives us an opportunity to fucking meet halfway. You know what I mean? I get to do my little version of shit. She gets to do her version of shit differently, but it feels good on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck you think, Jason? God damn it. Can I hear you, Jason? You can hear us, right?
Jason keeps freezing.
Jason's like two different places. Jason, where you at, bro?
I know he does have two different.
He does.
Oh, can we take if you got? Do you watch American Ninja Warrior?
I watch it every now and then, actually.
Do you even watch TV again?
You know, I
They're
don't
doing like a. Like, do you even watch TV?
I watch the football.
They're doing
game.
a kid version.
I watch a little bit of it.
Right, you're like a guy. You're gonna watch football.
Yeah, I watch the football. You could tell Amber I don't watch TV.
Nah, I just know you, nigga. Like, most people don't really watch a lot of TV, for real.
Oh, right. What the fuck
We're busy.
we making in society and shit? We watching Secure though.
Definitely watch Insecure.
You goddamn right.
You gotta watch the gems.
Yeah, you know, you gotta watch the gems so that you ain't just off the grid. You know what I mean? But
It's like those kind of shows. Definitely, I love that kind of show, like an Insecure, because it gives you a lot of perspective from so many different viewpoints, and
exactly.
like from women's perspective, like different perspectives within different women, you know. And then the same with the guys. Like, I love the way Insecure does it, is because it's like women can watch that show and like they'll think that like all men are the same, and you watch that show and you'll see like, no, like men they're different, they're people, they're not all the same. You can't, I feel like you cannot you can't approach dating with that mindset at all, because you'll end up offending a guy, or you'll end up like turning a good guy off who can totally see through that, you know what I mean? And it just kind of makes you close-minded, honestly.
That is beautiful, man. I think Insecure, she does a really good job with that show and doing that shit. And I think that's the key, man. We got to realize, like, you know, and, you know, I'll put the last words. We'll do our last closing statements because I know it's getting close to, I don't want to hold everybody up. But, Jason, are you on the line yet? Jason on the line. Okay. So I'll let my closing statements be. I think it's important that as men and women, man, we both make it a responsibility to, first of all, understand that everybody ain't the goddamn same. To understand that the world is bigger than our own world. You know what I mean? And to try to understand the opposite sex so that you ain't so pissed off by, because like she said, men are seeing through the bullshit that women try to do. Women been seeing through the bullshit men try to do. And still,
right.
You know what I mean? It's like, and we got to realize, man, like, we keep playing fucking games, we just fucking ourselves over, man. I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? If you trying to meet a real motherfucker, at least, you know what I mean? So that's definitely what I'd like to put out there, you know, and then.
And everybody don't get so caught up in work and in, I don't know, like your personal goals, and you have to put off being in a relationship because you're trying to do something. That's how a lot of good relationships start. Both people are going through their own things and they're doing it together and they're getting to know each other while they're doing that. And I've noticed that that's where a lot of successful relationships come from.
No, that's dope, Amber.
You're
That's dope.
muted.
My bad. And look, y'all, I got Jason on the three-way. Oh, my bad, Jason. My bad. So I got him on here. So that was my closing words. These were the last closing words from the beautiful Amber. And we're going to bring her on this show a lot. So y'all get used to it because we need these insights. We'll be in our official studios for the next episode and moving forward because today was one of our busy days. But we had to get the message out regardless. People going to listen to this and learn some shit, all right? Especially if you're a scientist like myself. I try to be a scientist and learn everywhere I can. You know what I'm saying? And Jason, man, let us know your final words,
Yes,
man, on speakerphone, man. Go ahead, bro. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Amber, go ahead, Jason. What's your closing statements, even though you've been on and off of this podcast for today?
I fucked in implementation where apparently Cricket Shotgun have, or aka TNT, doesn't give a fuck about my connection, and that. But I'm gonna say the closing statement is from the first part of whatever we talked about. Man, it's this thing when you view a woman's perspective. It's never what any man ever expected to hear.
Oh my
God. When a woman talks, because when a woman talks, she will reveal everything you have caused in her reality.
Wow.
And a lot of you men don't
That's
know
so real.
what you have caused. You only see the effect. When you hear why it was caused, you understand what you have done. And you understanding what you have done will always either take you to the same place you've always been or help you grow into the next destination you want to. The girl of your dreams, the man of your dreams, anybody, friendship, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Wow. So that's pretty fucking fire, man. I mean, that's key. Men, man, stop being fucking mad. There's movements out there, and there's a lot of men that are fucking pissed off. But men gotta realize, dog, like the woman is the gate for any guy. The woman is the gate to you. First of all, being just a strong motherfucker, and she's the gate to you. Becoming more powerful and learn about yourself, and vice versa. For the woman, the man's gonna help you learn all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? And so
They
yeah,
sure do.
a lot of guys, you'd be surprised, Amber. I talk to a lot of dudes, especially when it comes to dating relationships. It's rough out there, and a lot of dudes is very like negative and blamey and shit. But we can't do that, man. We got to take responsibility and use one another as the gate to what do you call it? Infinite bliss. So
yeah. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Do it. Fuck yeah. So, y'all, look, man, this is episode 3, Forbidden Fruit Podcast. We record we broadcast all over the motherfucking place. It don't fucking matter. And we're going to get some episodes where we all in one fucking environment, right? But right now, we had to make y'all wait for that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, man,
when you want to get something done, you make a way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thank you for inviting me, Johnny. That was good.
No, you're fucking dope. Thank you for taking the time out. We just getting started, so get ready. It's gonna get liver and liver, Amber. So just get fucking ready. And you get ready too, goddamn.
All right.
Go ahead, say it again, man. It's Jason live from my cell phone.
We're always gonna have beautiful women around us, just chilling, talking about the shit that we as men don't really seem to understand, but in their point of view. And that shit is always so dope because it's like if you don't understand something, you know what you do? You surround yourself with it.
That's good.
That's what we don't understand. We don't understand the female. And guess what? The female doesn't understand. She don't understand the man. Because guess what? What we're doing in life right now is a bunch of bullshit. How the fuck have we been on this earth for this many years and still can't figure out shit? That shit make no sense.
God damn.
But guess what? Johnny,
right. Let's have more conversations with each other.
Yeah. Open the dialogue. What was you gonna say, Jason?
I was gonna say it's okay talking. It's okay talking. It's okay figuring shit out. It's okay to be a student.
It's okay to be a goddamn student. So fuck yeah, man. This is gonna be cool. We're gonna get this shit together. I'm gonna make sure to get y'all hip to everything. When we release and everything. And thanks for everybody listening, man. I mean, give us questions. We need more questions, man. And we're gonna keep kicking it, man. So with that being said, thanks everybody for joining. It's been a pleasure. We're gonna see y'all on the other side.
Bye, you guys.
Peace. Peace out.
Peace, man. Thanks.